Scott Adams' Grand Adventure No. 8, Pyramid of Doom, was originally released on the TRS-80 model in the latter part of 1979, later adapted to other systems, eventually landing on the TRS-80 Color Computer system in 1982. It was released via cassette distribution for $24.95, which is roughly the equivalent of $65 adjusted for inflation in 2019. Those $60 Nintendo Switch games do not seem so much more expensive nowadays when put in the perspective of the earliest game releases, now do they? Anyway, the objective of this game is to gather 13 treasures from the inside of an Egyptian pyramid, all while solving multiple puzzles and avoiding various deadly hazards. You do this in the same classic two-word parser system that we've grown accustomed to in the past S.A.G.A game. The only major difference is this time the game was written by someone other than Scott or his wife Alexis. As such, it has a slightly different feel, and that feel is one of a closet sadist. There are multiple unfair puzzles and leaps of deduction that are not natural. I speak more about that in the introduction of my Model 1 run-through, and I do not wish to repeat myself. Once more, we will be using a COCO 3 with Disk Extended Color Basic 2.1 running a game from a floppy instead of a cassette, thanks to Super Backup Utility by Computize Inc. It's really the best I've found for this purpose, and is much better than I was able to write on my own before I found it. And as you can see by running a dir command, we're getting close to the end of the disk that we've been using for this entire project so far, and this time we're going to be using pyramid. So load M, machine language, pyramid, and then execute. Do you have lowercase? No. And here we have the splash screen. Adventure, version 5.73, Adventure number 8, version 1.25, copyright Adams 1979, box 3435 Longwood, Florida, phone 1-305-862-6917, color conversion by Roger Schrag. This program will allow you to have an adventure without ever leaving your armchair. You will find yourself in a strange new world. You will be able to look at, pick up, and otherwise manipulate the objects you find there. You will also be able to move from location to location. I will be your puppet in this adventure. You command me with two-word English sentences. I have a vocabulary of over 120 words, so if a word doesn't work, just try another. Some commands I know: score, help, save game, inventory, quit. Please don't copy or accept a pirated copy of Adventure. Would you like to restore a previously saved game? No. This is our standard layout for an Adventure International game. Upper portion above the line is the world, lower portion is our interaction with the world, blah blah blah. You've heard me say it all before. Welcome to Adventure 8, Pyramid of Doom by Alvin Files and Scott Adams, dedicated to Ray Harshaw. I am in a desert. Visible items, wooden poles sticking from the sand. Pool of liquid. Obvious exits are north and east. Now instead of running through a different way than I did for the Model 1, I am a little behind on things thanks to playing Sims 4. My wife suggested it to me and I have been quite enjoying it. I'm just going to run through the same way, and I'm going to push through as quickly as I can instead of sitting here talking about everything. I hope you do not mind, but sometimes even I need a week off. And honestly, what I am hoping to do with that time is to be able to work a little more on some Apple IIe things and show them to you. Anyway, here we go. We are going to start by getting the pole, because that is the shovel that we need. See? Carrying the following: empty campaign, unlit flashlight, and shovel. So we go to the pool. And while we are there, we're going to fill our canteen with water. We will need the water for two things later, and we will also get the key. From there, we need to go east, back into the desert. This is where we started. Go east again, and we are next to a pyramid. There's a stone sign. Let's go ahead and read the stone sign. He who defiles the tombs of Egypt shall surely perish. From here, we are going to dig. And we have made a hole. We're going to continue, because I forgot to take us north into the desert and then dig, because that is where we need to get the other key. And from here we go south, back to where we made the hole, and then we are going to get the stone. There's a sound of machinery, so it reveals a doorway, but first we need to go to the hole and unlock the door. There's a tiny locked door there. And then we come back up to the large doorway and unlock that door, where we are now going to go to the door where it is too dark to see. So you and I are going to light the flashlight. Light the flashlight. There we go. In a rocky entranceway, visible items, closed sarcophagus, moldy bandages, open door, pistol. Obvious exits are north and south. Let's go ahead and drop our key here, both of them, and then get the pistol. From here we go north into the dining hall. There is a table here. Then we go east, puts us in a hallway, visible items, archway, giant oyster, and a flute. Let's get the flute. I am having a terrible time spelling today. Hope you do not mind. You are going to get to see what it is like for me when I do not edit as much, because I am just going to accept that spelling mistakes happen. You may not know this, but I am a terrible typist. We are going to go west into the dining hall where the table is again, go south, and that puts us in a rocky entranceway where we dropped the keys. Go south again in a sitting room, visible items, ashes, basket, fireplace. Obvious exits are north. Let's look in the ashes. I see something. There's a gold necklace. Let's get the necklace. And then while we are here, let's look in the fireplace. I see something. It is coal, so let's get the coal. Now remember I said we needed the water in the canteen for two things. The first one is here. We want to wash the coal. And if we look at our inventory, we will see that we no longer have coal, we have a ruby. So here we want to play the flute. And that has a cobra that crawls out of the basket, presses a loose brick, and then disappears into a passage which has appeared. We want to go to the passage. Now here, there was a small chance that the rats that we passed by here, as you see in the sloping crawlway, visible items, starving rats, passageway. Some obvious exits are north. These starving rats on some of my playthroughs killed me. So far, none of the times where I have been trying to illustrate this to anyone has that happened. Now we want to go north out of here into a round altar room, visible items, blood-stained altar. Obvious exits are north, south, and east. We want to go east. Puts us in a hieroglyphics room. Visible items, dried camel jerky. Let's go ahead and get rid of our fruit. And then get the jerky. And then look at the hieroglyphics. Luckily, I only have to spell this once. There are markings present. Let's read the markings. It says leave treasures here. So we already have one treasure. So let's drop the necklace. And we have one treasure already accounted for. From here, we want to go west back to the bloodstained altar room, and then go north back to a room with a giant oyster. This is a hallway that also has an archway, and the only way out of here so far is west, but we are going to drop the jerky, and that makes the oyster open. It eats it and drops a pearl. Now this is a pathway we can take instead of going around through the rats. We're going to leave the pearl here for now. I know we need it, but it'll just get in the way of optimizing our moving around. So we're going to go west into the dining hall where the table was and go south again, and this is where we dropped the keys. There's a sarcophagus here. So let's open the sarcophagus and then go to the sarcophagus. As you can see, I am a terrible speller of this as well, but luckily it only needs the first 4 letters. Now we are going to go down, and there's a chance that a mummy down here will just kill us outright. It did not. So the first thing we want to do is pour the water. This is the other water issue. And it puts out the tana leaves, and the mummy goes to sleep. So let's drop the canteen because we do not need it anymore. And then we will drop the stone that we have been carrying all this time, and then drop the shovel. We've been carrying a lot of weight that we did not need to. It's a good thing we were not climbing up any ropes. Get the tapestry, and that reveals an entrance to an alcove. Let's go to the alcove. I'm in a hidden alcove. Visible items, chopping block, skull, box. Obvious exits are west. Let's go ahead and get the box. Let's look in the box. Something falls out. Bones. We do not need those. But we want to look in the box again. You may remember this, the double puzzle from before. There's an iron glove. Let's get the glove and then drop the box. Let's look in the skull. As you can see, gold teeth fell out, so let's get the teeth. And then get the skull. We will go west from here into the burial room where the sleeping mummy is, and from here go south. And this puts us in a tall room. Visible items, a small nomad, metal bar protruding from ceiling, decapitated skeleton, saw. This nomad will follow us around, and he never did anything bad, but he never did anything good. But you can shoot the nomad, and he vanishes in a puff of yellow smoke. Let's drop the skull. Skeleton places skull on his shoulders, grasps metal bar, pulls down ladder. So now there is a ladder, as well as a saw, and a glowing skeleton in this room. We want to go north, back to the burial room, and go north again. In a long, narrow passageway, visible items, bricked up doorway, rope, obvious exits are south. Let's wear the glove, and then hit the bricks. Okay, crash. It's now an open door. Let's remove the glove or it will fall off of our hand at random. So we go to the door, and here it is too dark to see because there's mirrors everywhere and the light blinds us, so we shut it off. In here is a puzzle that I explain in the Model 1 version of this Let's Play better. Simply put, I consider this unfair because that is not very intuitive, feeling the floor. We're going to get the coin. And then we want to go east. Still too dark to see, so let's light the flashlight. We're in a dressing room. Visible items, gold scarab. Obvious exits are west. Let's get the scarab. Then we need to pass back through the room where it's too dark to see with the mirrors. Go again, and then light the flashlight again. So we are back in the narrow passageway where we used the glove to break the bricks. Here we want to take a little trip to go south into the burial room, up into the sarcophagus, west into the rocky entranceway where we dropped the keys, north taking us to the dining hall with the table, and east where there is the pearl and the archway. We want to go to the archway. And then go east again from the bloodstained altar to the hieroglyphics room where we can drop our treasures. And here we want to drop the tapestry, and then drop the coin, and then drop the teeth, and then drop the scarab. With that all dropped, let's check our inventory and make sure we're not carrying anything. We are still carrying the ruby. It's important that we continue carrying the ruby. So let's head back out of here and go west into the round altar room. The nomad is there. We're just going to let him follow us for a little while. Go north. And this puts us back in the room where the pearl is. Go west again into the dining hall and then south. And this is where the sarcophagus is. And here we are going to pick up the tiny key. As you can see, the large key stays behind. The tiny key just is the one that gets picked up. So let's go to the sarcophagus. I'm going to show you that I only needed to type sarc. And I am in the sarcophagus. Would you mind if for the rest of this, every time I have to go through the sarcophagus, I just type sarc? Because I get embarrassed about my spelling sometimes. Really? Thank you. So let's go down and then go north. Puts us back in the room where we broke open the bricks. We want to get the rope. And from here go south back into the burial room and go south again into a tall room where the glowing skeleton is. Here we want to climb the ladder. In a revolving cavern, visible items, small nomad. Let's go ahead and shoot the nomad again. He vanishes in a puff of smoke. We want to go south, and this puts us on a narrow ledge. Visible item, sapphire, hole in the ceiling, pool of liquid, which is far below the ledge. So while we are here, let's get the sapphire, and then execute one of the puzzles that is another unfair. These games teach you to hold on to, hoard, and never let go of your treasures, and then they mark the ruby as a treasure. But you need to throw the ruby into a vat of acid. It falls into a pool of acid and it burns up. Now, if we throw the rope is not going to go into the acid, it's going to go up above, and we are going to be able to climb it but we're not going to do that just yet. Here we are going to go west into the revolving cavern and then go north again. And this puts us in a prison cell. Visible items, dead explorer, chained to the wall. Rubbish, closed portal. Obvious exits are south and west. Let's check out the explorer. Something falls out. It's a gold pin. Let's get the pin. And while we are at it, let's check out the pile of rubbish. And we will find that there's a jade carving. So let's get the carving. And then we are going to go west out of here and then south back to where the rope is hanging. And we are now going to climb the rope, putting us in a throne room. Visible items, chain hanging from ceiling, chest, wall mural, pile of melted iron. That pile of melted iron was a statue, and it was the ruby that caused the statue to melt. Let's go ahead and open the chest. I see something. It is a platinum crown. Let's get the crown. And then let's get out of here to drop some treasures off and then come back. We're going to go down to the narrow ledge, west into the revolving cavern, down again, which takes us into the room with the glowing skeleton, and then go north. This puts us in the burial room where the mummy is. From here we go up into the sarcophagus, west into the rocky entranceway where we dropped the keys originally, then go north. That puts us in the dining hall with the table. East, back to the giant oyster with the black pearl. Go to the archway, and that puts us in a blood-stained altar room, where we go east again, and this is the treasure room, where we are going to drop the crown, drop the carving, drop the pin, and drop the sapphire. If we check our inventory, we are carrying a lit flashlight, a tiny key, a pistol, and an iron glove. The pistol has 2 bullets. Let's go ahead and head back. I'm just going to take a quick trip here, west, and then north, and then west, and then south, and this is the sarcophagus. Thank you for letting me type Sarco. And from here we're going to go down and south. This is where the skeleton was, still is. We are going to get the saw and then climb the ladder. And from here we are going to go south through the revolving cavern to the narrow ledge and climb the rope. This puts us in the room where we opened the chest. Let's look at the mural. Seek ye well the heart of iron. That was the hint about the ruby. So here, what we want to do is pull the chain. I see something. A spiral staircase has appeared. Let's go to the staircase. In the treasure room, visible items, treasure coffer, barred window. Obvious exits are down. If we attempt to open this coffer, a needle will come out and stab us in the hand. It will be poison. We will die. Instead, what we want to do is wear the iron glove and then open the coffer. Now it is open and we are safe. Let us look in the coffer. I see something, an emerald bracelet. Let's get the bracelet. And then while we are here, as you see there is a barred window, let's go ahead and saw the bars. From here we go to the window and we are on top of the pyramid. Visible items, platinum bar. Obvious exits are west. We are going to get the platinum bar, and then we have a long trip back down. For that, we are going to go west to the treasure room, down to the throne room, down again to the narrow ledge, where we go west to the revolving cavern, down again to the room with the glowing skeleton. Then we go north to the burial room with the sleeping mummy. Then we go up to the sarcophagus, west to the rocky entranceway where we dropped the keys, go north again, and this is where there is a table. And while we are here, we are going to saw the table, and something falls out. It's another necklace. So let's get the diamond necklace, and then we want to go east. And this puts us in the room with the giant oyster and the pearl. And let's check our inventory. We're wearing an iron glove. There's a pistol, a saw, a platinum bar, a diamond necklace, an emerald bracelet, and the pistol has 2 bullets. Let's remove the glove and drop the glove so that I can get the pearl. And then from here, we want to go to the archway, to the blood-stained altar, go east, which puts us in the hieroglyphics room, and we want to start dropping treasures. So let's drop the pearl, then we're going to drop the necklace, and then we're going to drop the platinum bar, and then drop the bracelet. And let's look at this. We have antique tapestry, gold scarab, gold coin, gold teeth, black pearl, platinum bar, diamond necklace, gold pin, jade carving, sapphire, platinum crown, emerald bracelet. That is all 13 treasures that are necessary to complete this. So let's go with score. I stored 13 treasures on a scale of 0 to 100. That ranks 100. Fantastic, you solved it all. This adventure is over. Do you want to play again? No, we are not going to play again. And this takes us back to Disk Extended Color Basic 2.1, which is under license from Microsoft and Microware Systems Corporation. I spent a lot of time criticizing this game, both during the time I spent exploring it and while I was recording it for the Model I. I'm not going to do that this time. Instead, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is not a game for beginners. I make it seem simple with my Let's Play running so smoothly, but it's only because I spent many hours toiling over it and figuring it all out for you. Do not suggest this for anyone you like, because they're either going to never play an IFTA again, or they're going to hate you for the rest of their life. For more on this, see the outro of the Model 1 Let's Play of S.A.G.A. Pyramid of Doom. More seriously, even though it was as frustrating to figure out as a self-administered root canal would be, I enjoyed this Let's Play. And I hope you enjoyed it too. How about you let me know in the comments below just what you thought. If you have any questions or requests, you can leave them for me there too. I would love to hear from you. If you can, maybe you could click like and or subscribe for me. You will get notified whenever I have a new IFTA related video up. I mean, be original, say yes. Everyone else says no. Either way, it was a pleasure to do this with you. Wish me luck, and I look forward to our next adventure together.